All right, so let's talk about something we all use literally every single day: money. We earn it, we spend it, we worry about it. It's a huge part of our lives. But have you ever, really stopped and asked yourself, what is it? I'm not talking about how to make more of it, but what is this stuff fundamentally? Because the answer, I promise you, is going to blow your mind and change the way you look at every single coin or bill you ever touch again.
So yeah, what is it? Is it that crumpled bill in your pocket? The change in your car's cup holder? Or is it just those numbers that pop up on your phone when you check your bank account? You probably think the answer is pretty simple, right? Well, let me tell you, the real story is way, way weirder. And honestly, a lot more interesting than you'd think.
Because here's the secret, right up front. The answer isn't a thing. Money isn't really a physical object at all. It's a story. That's it. It's just a story that we all agree to believe. And to really get how powerful that story is, we need to go back in time to a world where money didn't even exist. All right, to do that, let's imagine a little world populated by mice. Yep, I know, mice, but trust me on this little story about mice and their economy is going to explain pretty much everything. So in this Mousetopia, there's no cash, no coins, nothing. It's all about bartering, and you're about to see why that's a really big problem. Okay, picture this. You're a mouse and you're a master cheesemaker. Your cheddar is legendary, but you need some wood to build a new mouse house. Simple enough, right? So you go to the wood-cutting mouse with your amazing cheese, and he's like, nah, I don't want cheese. I want berries. Ugh. Okay, so now you gotta track down the berry-picking mouse, but guess what? She doesn't want your cheese either. She wants fish. You see the problem here? It's this insane, frustrating chain, and the whole economy just stops. Nothing gets done. You know, this total nightmare actually has a fancy economics name. It's called the double coincidence of wants. Sounds complicated, but it's super simple. It just means that for trade to happen, two things have to be true at the exact same time. I have to have what you want, and you have to have what I want. The chances of that happening are, well, they're not great. It's a huge waste of time and basically paralyzes everyone. But then, one day, a particularly clever mouse has this light bulb moment. A single idea that is so simple yet so brilliant, it's going to change everything for everyone. This is the big eureka moment that unlocks the whole puzzle. So get this. The mouse picks up a totally random leaf off the ground. A leaf. You can't eat it, you can't build with it, it's worthless. And he says, hey everyone, what if we all just agree that this leaf is worth something? It's not valuable because it's a leaf. It's valuable because we all believe it's valuable. We just have to trust that if I accept this leaf for my cheese, someone else will accept it from me for their wood. I mean, how crazy is that? The value isn't in the object, it's in our shared agreement. And that little leaf, for it to actually work as money, it has to do three basic jobs. First, it has to be a medium of exchange. That just means everybody agrees to take it. Easy. Second, it has to be a store of value. You know, cheese goes bad, but a leaf, well, it holds up. You can save it for later. And third, it's a unit of account. It's how we measure value. This cheese is worth 1 leaf. That pile of wood is worth 10 leaves. It gives us a common language for price. So that whole story about the mice and leaf, it might sound silly, but that is exactly what happened in human history. Seriously, we just use different things instead of leaves. Our version of the story has just gotten way more complex over the centuries. I mean, think about it. Way back when, we used things like seashells or even salt as money. Then we figured out that gold and silver were better, they're rare, they don't rest, but lugging around a bunch of gold bars is a real hassle, right? So we invented paper money, which was basically just a piece of paper that said, I promise you can trade this for real gold. And now? Today, most of our money isn't even physical. It's just numbers on a screen, little digital bits in a giant computer somewhere. We've gone from a rock to a blip of light. Okay, this brings us to a really critical moment, a huge plot twist in the story of money. See, for a long, long time, that paper money we used was actually linked to something real, gold. In theory, you could walk into a bank and swap your paper dollars for actual physical gold. But then, everything changed. And it happened in one specific year. 1971. That's the year. The year the entire rulebook for the global economy got thrown out the window. That's the year the United States government announced it was cutting the cord. The US dollar would no longer be backed by gold. Just like that. That promise, that idea that your paper money was just a placeholder for something real and shiny in a vault, poof, gone.
Overnight, the entire definition of money changed. Which, of course, leads to the biggest, most mind-bending question of all. If it's not gold, then what in the world is backing our money now? What makes that bill in your wallet worth anything at all?
The answer, are you ready for this? Nothing. Absolutely nothing physical. The only thing backing our money today is trust. That's it. Just our shared belief that it's worth something. We are right back where we started, with the mice and their leaf. The only reason a dollar has value is because we all believe it does. It's an idea, a total social agreement. And that system, this global story that's based purely on belief, well, it's incredibly powerful. It's what allows our entire modern world to work. But it also means the system is incredibly fragile. There's a real danger hidden inside that belief. Look, when that trust is strong, when we all believe in the story, it's amazing. Trade flows around the globe, economies boom, and society generally prospers. It's great, but what happens when that trust breaks? If people start to doubt the story, well, that's when the money can become completely worthless. You get something called hyperinflation, and the whole system can just fall apart. And this isn't just some scary bedtime story. It has happened. In Zimbabwe, back in 2008, people lost faith in the government and its currency. The government just printed more and more money, and it became worthless. I mean, it got so bad, people were taking actual wheelbarrows full of cash, to the store just to buy a loaf of bread. That's a real-world example of the story completely breaking down. So when you really boil it all down, you get to this incredible conclusion. Money isn't real in the way a rock is real. It's a work of fiction. But it's probably the most powerful and most successful work of fiction that humans have ever created. It's this shared story that allows billions of complete strangers all across the planet to trust each other enough to trade, build, and cooperate. It's kind of beautiful in a weird way. Which leaves us with one last big question. Everything, the money in your bank, the cash in your wallet, the entire global economy, it's all balanced on this delicate web of trust. It's all based on a story. So you have to wonder, what happens if, for whatever reason, we all just stop believing?